So let's talk about Ja Rule. And also to give you some insight, I'm honestly gonna work on different individuals within the hip hop industry that I think that are corny or somewhat corny, or that I feel are cornballs, pretty much. Not just individuals, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna evolve. I'm gonna touch on different topics, but let's talk about Ja Rule, man, because this guy's still talking about 50 Cent. He was on the Matt Hoffa podcast, and many individuals speak on how the internet is bad, which are true, right? It is partially bad, but it is partially good. And one of the good things about the internet is that it would expose your lies. If you go in front of a camera and if you say something and you put it online, we can always go back and there's proof that you're lying, all right? Now let's talk about Ja Rule saying this. So there's a video, 50 Cent and Tony Yayo sued us. All of them got paid 750K. Alright, bet. So let me play this real quick.
No problem. Can you sue y'all?
Yes.
How much?
Absolutely.
How much money do you get?
Him, he sued. I'm gonna tell you that story too. He sued us. Yayo also sued us. I think there was another gentleman in the room that I think that sued us too. And all of them got paid $750. He got his record deal. He pulled out of the lawsuit. He didn't get a record deal. He stayed in the lawsuit. Got paid. Got some money from him.
When you handle the problem,
Alright, so this is all cap, bro. Moving forward, instead of calling him Ja Rule, I'm gonna call him Cap Rule because this dude is one of the biggest cappers of all time. And I'm gonna prove that. I'm gonna prove that here. And when I first saw this video, I asked ChatGPT. Let me see. Let's do a new one. I asked ChatGPT. Give me 1 second. Alright. I'm like, did 50 Cent and Ja Rule snitched on, no, not snitched, sue, did 50 Cent and Tony Yayo sue Ja Rule? Let's see what ChatGPT got to say. Oh. There's no public records of 50 Cent and Tony Yayo suing Ja Rule. Instead, their interactions have been marked by a long-standing feud, including physical altercations, publicly feud, notably in 2000. Yeah, so that's already documented that 50 Cent decked Ja Rule. Overall, while legal actions have occurred involving these individuals, there is no evidence to suggest that 50 Cent and Tony Yayo have filed a lawsuit against Ja Rule. I did all the research. I did not find anything. It was all lies. And there's also proof of them lying, saying that 50 Cent snitched on them when he never snitched on them. And I can just show you right here. So if you're not aware, the origin of the issue between 50 Cent, Ja Rule, and also Irv Gotti is the biggest drug dealer at the time was called Supreme. And 50 Cent didn't like that Supreme co-signed Ja Rule because Ja Rule was never really about that life. He was never, what he was projecting was not true in his music. And 50's like, yo, why are you co-signing this guy when you know I'm really about that life? And I'll show you the origin right here. 50 Cent breaks it down carefully. Let me fix this.
and them is picking that over what we really are. Look, when the feds coming in and indictment, my neighborhood is picking a side. Preem and them is picking that over what we really are. Look, when the feds coming in and indictment, they said that they beat the case. Yeah. He beat no case. He never did nothing. They put him in the indictment because when you gave him $50,000, they said you was money laundering. But there was no money laundering. They didn't give him the dirty $50,000. You gave him $50,000 because you, and he said lick.
So, what he's talking about, Irv Gotti and Ja Rule gave him the $50,000 to Supreme to start whatever. I think it was for the music company. I'll let finish.
Leave him alone because he's my food.
Yeah, so Supreme told 50 Cent, stop messing with Ja Rule and Irv Gotti because they're my food, as in they're the ones that's generating income for Supreme to financially benefit off of these individuals, right? You never want no one to play with your food. Street term is like you don't want no one fucking with the person that's making you the most money, right? And 50 Cent didn't like that at the time.
And when I keep having friction with them, he goes, let's kill this little.
So that's why 50 Cent got shot 9 times.
Because he keep getting in the way. And there was no money laundering, bro. Man, tell you he beat the case, and when he said by the time he was done with his case, he owed $2 million.
So he's talking about Irv Gotti. The federal government actually sued Irv Gotti due to like conspiracy of I forgot what he was being charged with, but it was some type of conspiracy, and Irv Gotti beat the case. But what 50 Cent is saying is they just used you, so you won't pay any lawyers for Preem going to jail. That's why Preem's still in jail. I think he got life or something like that. Let me see. What did he get? Supreme. Let's see. Prison sentence. Yeah, he got life in prison for convicted of murder, conspiracy, and drug trafficking, sentenced to life in prison. I know there's rumors. Oh, I saw it on I think a Nas documentary that he is trying to get out. He is trying to appeal and get out.
You win. How did you win? You never did nothing. So the government is saying, get this out the way, trying to help by giving them this good case. And they'll struggle to beat that case while we're taking care of what we need to take care of with this. My neighborhood is...
So that's pretty much the origin of the beef. And the reason I'm showing you the origin of this beef between 50 Cent, Supreme, Irv Gotti, Ja Rule, there's actually a story behind that too, because Ja Rule got his chain snatched by 50's friend, and Ja Rule thought that 50 had something to do with it when he didn't. But this was kind of the beef between him and people within the neighborhood in Queens. And then this is Ja Rule, Irv Gotti lying on 50 Cent, saying that he snitched.
MREC TV.
This is what I say, yo, thanks to the internet, we can go back and get this information like this.
I'm having a good time with life, you know. I'm not worried about these wanksters. Hoes in the beat, gangs.
By the way, you know how we get down up here, dog. I'm not with the gossip thing. You spit anything you want out here if you want to talk about
informants,
tension, drama, whatever. Just handle your business, man.
I mean, sir, I woke up this morning, man, because at first I didn't want to say nothing. Me and Rule, we didn't want to say nothing, but we just feel the responsibility to the people that they know who they dealing with.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all the real street niggas out there, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be understood. It must be understood, man. And what I'm holding.
This is the thing that Irv Gotti was also not really a street person. This is what happens. This is yo, if you want to just end your career or your life in general, every time I see people or I'm around people that got something to prove, those are the most dangerous people because they're willing to do anything just to be validated. And when you seek validation in an unhealthy way, it's always gonna backfire on you. Because no matter what you prove, there's always like this imaginary line that you need to cross to prove something to somebody. So this is why I always tell people, just be yourself and you don't gotta prove nothing, right? And you just gotta earn confidence. If you earn your confidence, you'll feel better. You know who you are. It's very simple. Just earn that confidence. Don't try to prove anyone to anybody. It's gonna backfire on you 20,000 times. And I'm just setting this up for what they're about to say.
And I'm gonna leave with you, man, is an order of protection. The order of protection for Irving Lorenzo to stay away from Curtis Jackson. That's 50, y'all. AKA 50, AKA 50, AKA informant, AKA I'm telling.
And then to clarify that, so there was a physical altercation between 50 Cent, his crew, and Irv Gotti and Ja Rule in a studio. And, you know, it was barely a serious fight. They got cut with butter knives. And the order of protection wasn't filed by 50 Cent, Tony Yayo, and his crew. It was filed by the producer. So they were just misleading and lying on 50 Cent. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, yo, this dude, Ja Rule's still capping on this whole beef. If I was Ja Rule, I'll just leave it alone. Like, I'll just leave it. Like, I won't even talk about 50 Cent no more. You know, 50 Cent's going to be petty, but 50 Cent don't really talk on him. Who just poke fun at him on Instagram.
Understand? So I just want everyone to get clear. That little incident we had at the Hit Factory, you know, he tells you about it.
A little stabbing with the butter knife.
Yeah. It was a little altercation. It wasn't nothing crazy. But you know, I thought it was nothing crazy.
Hang on. The lights went out. A couple of locks in the sock, you know.
I mean,
it wasn't nothing crazy.
I'm gonna pose the question. I'm gonna pose the question to you, Star. We didn't start talking.
He's about.
Yo, shout out to Star, bro. I was a kid when he was I was a kid when he was very prominent within hip hop radio, but this dude was on a whole nother level, just beyond disrespectful, beyond entertaining, beyond funny. Y'all should go watch some of his old video clips because he was different.
Hangs on every corner, you know, with Fat Farm and Sean.
Jumbo Pete. What I'm gonna say is we didn't start talking crazy. You know, we make hit records and we get our paper. You know what I'm saying? He starts talking crazy, so we was in the same studio. We went there, and again, it was nothing big. It was just a little scuffle. It was nothing big.
Yes, sir.
But he felt the need, you know, to go to the cops.
And press charges.
Press charges. Look, that's Irving Lorenzo.
Legal document.
That's, you know, and his docket numbers, and people out there, this isn't hatred because I'm caked up. I have no reason to hate.
Absolutely.
And also,
I keep trying to tell these niggas that hate it.
These niggas is crazy.
It's not a person who's financially frustrated.
And listen, I don't want no problems.
Yeah, I'm a peaceful.
So if you listen out there, Curtis, I don't want no problems with you. You ain't gonna get no more troubles out of
Illinois. God.
You understand? I don't want no problems. Because my man Black.
And then people wonder why 50 said smoking that Gotti pack after he passed away. Like, oh my God, he's petty. Like, yo, he really went through it. He looks like the bully because he's the most successful out of these two individuals. And not even that, but Irv Gotti also blackballed 50 when he was trying to make it. So that's one of the reasons. That was one of the additional reasons why he hated these people. And then here you got Bill Courtney
in that 50
speaking on when that's supposed. Oh, this is the order of protection. This is proof. This is a retired police detective, retired detective talking on if 50 snitched or not, and he'll tell you.
And called someone, said, "Please protect me from Irving, Chris Gotti, for crying out loud." It doesn't mean that 50 Cent called someone, said, "Please protect me from Irving, Chris Gotti, for crying out loud." I mean, 50 doesn't need protection from them. You know what I mean?
Right.
AGTV.
When I say this, just for the audience, I don't mean this in any sort of bias or hate towards 50 Cent. But you just said that 50 Cent never cooperated.
Right.
There's always the rumor that he did. It depends in which way. Some people said he did it in his music, and he told police, if you want to find out, just listen to the music. He did you can read between the lines if you listen to his music. You could kind of breaks it down. There's some songs like "Fuck You." He mentions Supreme. Obviously, Many Men. He mentions Homo. Again, I have to ask. So, in any way, to your knowledge, has 50 Cent cooperated when it came to that shooting where he got shot 9 times?
50 Cent never cooperated with anybody, and I would know if he did. I had the whole music industry investigation business locked down. I knew everybody who was talking to everybody. There was no way he cooperated. We took a shot at him. He didn't cooperate. Through his attorney, Bob Colina, I tried to get him to, just say, if he could just say he was shot in his car and, whatever, he would not cooperate with us at all. And I think the reason why is one, he was playing the rules of the street. 2, he wouldn't have a career if he got caught cooperating. Guys have said he cooperated on an incident where he was stabbed, or somebody was stabbed, maybe it was Yayo in the studio. He didn't cooperate on that, and these guys were going to sue or something. One guy sued and won some money, who worked in the studio. They never cooperated.
So that was the producer. From my understanding, it was the producer that gave that order of protection against Irv Gotti and Ja Rule.
And I find it funny that the guys who say he cooperated, namely the Gotti brothers, they did more stupid things to bring heat on them and heat on everybody else, using two-way pages to communicate with people when the information is so easy to, to get a hold of afterwards. They did a lot of dumb things. And they messed with the wrong guy. He came back. He's a fighter. And people got to, respect that. Even if they don't like 50, right. He didn't have any cops protecting him. He went into hiding. He was looking over his shoulder like every day. And then when he made it big, he still has guys coming at him, shooting at him. He never came to the police when World and those guys shot it out with him out in New Jersey. There's a ton of different things. Like I could tell you why he never cooperated. And if he was in with the police or whoever, I would know about it. And I'm telling you, that's like a definite no.
Right, because remember the Gotti brothers went up to Hot 97 and they had...
Now the irony here is that earlier I spoke about the rapper who got shot and his daughter got shot, and then we look at 50 and we glorify 50, but I glorify 50 because he stood on his principles. So although I'm not an advocate of do the street shit, but I am an advocate of just being who you are. And 50 was a street person and he stand on the principles. He didn't shy away from it. But also at one point he eventually matured. He's like, bro, there's only 2 ways that this shit's going to end if I continue the street life. I'm either going to go to prison or I'm going to die. He almost died. He did get found guilty at one point for possession, but then he did the boot camp shit. And he almost died. And he was like, yo, bro, I need to change my life. Because if I don't change my life, this shit's not going to end well. And then throughout his career, he could have taken that pivot to going back to doing illegal shit, but he never did. That's why I respect him. He talks about when, at the time when he was on the rise, when he was at his peak, he heard about BMF and he kept his distance because he's like, bro, I don't need to be around that, because if I am, I'll probably start buying some drugs from this guy and start selling it. So he kept his distance. He put his mind on his work. He left the street life behind. He grew up, and look at him now, right? So the moral of the story is figure out who you are and stand on those principles. And in the end, bro, the street shit is just not, there's no longevity when it comes to the street life. There isn't.
Presented, I guess it was Star, some paperwork. I guess it was when the victim gets assaulted, I guess after there's like a order of protection, by 50 Cent.
Yeah, well, so what happens is when, obviously, people got arrested during that incident. The guy who ran the studio was the one who, wanted to press charges, wanted to sue. He doesn't have to live by any street code or anything like that. Because those guys were injured and got medical aid or whatever, They're listed as being victims in the report too. And when the prosecutor goes before the judge and, asks for bail or whatever, said, by the way, I want protective orders for the following people. It doesn't mean that 50 Cent called someone and said, please protect me from Irving, Chris Gotti, for crying out loud. I mean, 50 doesn't need protection from them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And from what I hear, there was a...
The way he's making them sound is so funny, bro.
gun in that studio, and if they had the gun closer to him, maybe one of those guys would be dead today too. So,
right.
There you go. There you go. And this is well documented. But talking about 50,